Hey, this is Redban, and you're listening to the Death Squad Podcast Network. This episode and all the episodes of Death Squad can be found on iTunes. Search the iTunes store for Death Squad and hit subscribe. It's free and it helps us out. Also, donating can help us. If you have any extra cash laying around and you like what we're doing, please donate. You can go to deathsquad.tv for all the information. Guys, this is Tom Segura and Christina Pazinski in your mom's house.
Welcome to your motherfucking mom's house podcast. I'm Christina Pazinski, and I am here with Tom Segura.
Hello.
And Mr. Brian Redban.
Hi.
And today, I'm very excited. Very excited. I have a special guest. I can barely breathe. I went to college with this young lady. You've seen her in movies like I Love You, Man. You've seen her in the Katherine Heigl, what's the one, the baby one?
Life as We Know It.
Life as We Know It. She'll be starring in the upcoming HBO series Enlightened. Please welcome Miss Sarah Burns.
Whoa! Hello. I'd like to say, I was also in the short-lived MTV show called Damage Control.
Oh, what was
Twice.
that about? What was that?
It was about a high-concept prank that we would play on a teenager in suburban New Jersey, and we'd all dress up as, like, people would come to the front door and throw this kid's, like, day out of whack.
I think I'd try it out for that.
It was great. It was fantastic. It was BBC and MTV partnered. And
wow.
It was magic.
It sounds fantastic. Now,
great.
we played the intro song is Gigi Allen, which is Sarah Burns' favorite artist of all time. And I don't know if you're familiar with Gigi or not.
Slow jazz.
Sarah Burns is responsible for introducing me to many great things in life. Zima wine cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Vomiting in public, smoking pot on buses, and Gigi Allen. If you haven't seen the documentary by Todd Phillips, Gigi Allen Hated, it's phenomenal. And this is our tribute to Sarah Burns and to Gigi Allen.
You know, I almost wore the Gigi Allen shirt that you gave me today as like a shout out to you.
Yeah.
I did wear it on my wedding night.
Did you know that?
No, you didn't.
I did.
You did?
I wore my Gigi Allen shirt
On your wedding night?
Well, because it was the only white T-shirt that I had, and you're supposed to wear white on your wedding day, and so I wore a diaper and a Gigi Allen.
Good. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct that you were at? You've been to Gigi Allen shows,
Just one,
but a pretty big one.
and it was a grand one because he later died.
So
Like
you went
6
to
hours
his
later.
last show
I did.
ever, which is on. They feature that on the. It's one of the special features.
Yeah,
on the
actually,
documentary.
yeah, they were filming there that day, and I know there's footage in like the anniversary DVD of that, but I don't have I have the like older DVD. I do, and I will buy in duplicate.
We have it. We have the.
We have it,
Oh,
yeah.
we gotta watch because I want to see. I would love for you to see. Well, you met me like right after.
Right.
That,
it was like
but-
You're probably on it. There's probably a shot of you somewhere on this footage.
Well, racing in the opposite direction of this man covered in his own excrement.
Yes. Yeah, you got to kind of give.
Should we set up what Gigi is?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
don't think
First
people
of all,
know who he is.
but
He's a poet.
just so you
I'm not gonna
know,
lie.
the film that we're talking about is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hated. Todd Phillips made it when he was an NYU film student.
Yeah.
He's a student. And I think to this day, it's the highest grossing student film of all time.
It's amazing.
Really?
I don't think there's ever been a student film that has made as much, but it's not about that. The movie is tremendous. And you can see how basically his eye for comedy is there, because even though it's not made like, it's not like this is a comedy, there are so many funny moments that he captures and puts into his film, and the way he cuts it together, it's really funny. Like the way he edits interviews with
like
fans
Merle.
and people, and Merle. It's so
Merle.
funny.
Gigi's
Okay, for the backstory on Gigi. Gigi was born Jesus Christ Allen. I don't know if you knew
That's his
that.
legal name.
That's his
Did
legal
you know
name.
that, Sarah?
He was born.
know what? I didn't know that, and if I did know it, I've forgotten. And
His
thank you for the
dad,
information.
No
his
problem.
dad was a really super Christian fundamentalist.
And he was pretty Christian and uptight and conservative.
Was he? And then
Growing
he
up?
lost his shit.
Well, the story. I'm sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to.
No, I didn't know that.
Horn
Tom's a
in on your
historian.
I'm a historian.
But you're always polite. Before I came here, I was like, don't always interrupt Tom during the podcast today because I constantly interrupt. Shh, Tom, I'm talking. I was like, just keep it down. So, as you were saying,
And you're up on stage. What do you do on stage? That
I
just
might
people-
go out and kick somebody in the
oh my
head.
God, I
might
have this
grab
on
a girl
VHS.
and force her to perform oral sex with me. I've had sex on stage with men, women, and animals, and everything in between. See, the thing of it is, in rock and roll, there can be no limits or no laws, because when you start drawing laws and limits, then you might as well not even call it rock and roll anymore.
Well,
you might as well sell out to the corporate government like it's already done.
It's not rock and roll. There's nothing to do with rock and roll.
If you-
Isn't it true that you're just going on stage?
No, that's your opinion. You're part of the society that I despise. You're part of the people that say we should listen to this, we should watch MTV, we should be force-fed. Parents in this country they're keeping their kids, they're sheltering their kids, they're censoring their kids, telling their kids to stay away from what's really going on in the real world. Those are the very people who are getting raped and killed because they don't know how to handle tragedy because they're never put in front of a tragic situation. And when they come to my show, I'm going to give them the hard lesson of life. If you get raped at my show,
he's like
you're
guru.
probably
He's
better
giving
off for it.
everyone
I'm teaching you
the
something.
lesson. Here's the deal.
He's advocate. He's saying, if you get raped at my show, I'm
welcome.
preparing you for life. You're welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You can send money later.
The best part
did you a favor.
is that he
Bend
ties
over.
it into that's what rock and roll's about.
Yeah, that's rock and roll.
But it's not like I'm doing what I want to do. This is what rock and roll is all about. I might kick you in the head. I might fuck you in the mouth.
Yes.
I might violate you in any number of ways. That's rock and roll.
Open your mouth and let me shit into it. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Great. I was so lost thinking like, oh man, Rolling Stones.
That's not rock and roll.
No.
So wait, how did you
There's-
discover Gigi? What did
Well, I just like in high school, he was, like you listen to punk or something, you kind of like are led down that road. I had some boyfriend of mine made me a mixtape, like of love songs, and one of the love songs was a Gigi song.
was it like I want to fuck your brains
Well,
out?
no,
was
it
it
was like
Suck My Ass, It Smells?
No, I believe that Suck My Ass, It Smells was the last song. No, Look Into My Eyes and Hate Me was the last song he said. But there was a Gigi Allen song on there, and I remember like listening to Donovan and like In the Dark, and then there was this Gigi song and being like totally scared.
Yeah.
But intrigued.
But intrigued,
Yeah.
and then intrigued to the point where he pissed me off because he was like so, he's hateful towards everyone, and
He's just crazy.
but he was really, I thought, like, hateful and aggressive to women. So I just thought that maybe I could take him down. I grew up in Long Island, so I lived in a bubble. I
So you
had
actually
no
were
idea
gonna show him something.
well, like not a genital or anything.
Right,
I was
no,
just
but I'm
gonna
saying like you were gonna teach him a lesson.
I thought like I could call him out.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is before Hated came out, so I didn't realize like women who called him out would get punched or
Oh, yeah.
smacked down. And I could just kind of knew his music and knew for years that he was always saying, I'm going to kill myself on Halloween. I always
Yeah,
thought,
we
well,
were waiting
why
for that.
are you always in prison on Halloween? Like, this is me, like, I've got it all figured out.
Just so you know, Gigi Allen, there's a great scene in the Todd Phillips documentary where he's performing for like a college. It's in a
At
cafeteria
NYU,
at
yeah.
NYU. And he proceeds to peel a banana and put the banana up his ass.
But it takes him a while.
It
Takes
does
a
take a while. It's not easy.
It was a
It's
ripe
mushy,
banana.
too.
Well, he's a
Yeah,
performer.
It was
He
a
knows.
green
You should
banana.
have
I
used
hope.
a plantain.
He
Whatever.
knows how to milk a moment. He takes a beat.
You take it. It's a dramatic pause.
Yeah. And then he throws it to the audience, into the crowd.
yeah.
And that's... But Sarah, I find that you did at one time in our college years have an attraction to really cool guys. Like...
Win
They're
like
winners.
champs.
Yeah.
The top of the game. What are they? The President's Medal receiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that guy we used to go out with who was always like he always has pants off and
Which one? Well, there was a guy that smoked crack recreationally.
oh well that was probably not around my time but yeah but that's
Remember the scab story?
You dated a crack smoker? Is that true?
no well I wasn't actively dating a crack smoking person.
Yeah.
But well, more interestingly is we broke up because he got back together with his ex-girlfriend at a Christmas party, who was famously known for climbing up a tree at a party when she was drunk because she was pissed off at someone and shitting down onto their head.
Wow.
And when that happened, I said, "Wow, I might not be in my element."
This is a famous
someone
story,
you need
like
to know.
around town.
Well, no, that my friend was like, "You know what? Your boyfriend cheated on you with this party, this like Christmas vacation, and the girl he cheated on with is this girl that got really drunk at a party and got pissed off, climbed up into a tree and shit on someone's head," and that made me feel like really low.
Yeah.
Shit, if that looks better than me, I need to
Wait, can I
get
tell
back
you,
to basics.
there was some guy with the scab. Remember, there's a guy.
Yeah, he was. We're gonna have to at some point address the crack smoking thing. Just
Sorry. Oh, I'm
no,
sorry, yeah.
that's fine. No, because I do want my mom and dad to know that I'm fine. But he had this. That was a roommate. That was his roommate.
Okay.
Who had a friend who ate like an inch square scab to
What?
Just yeah.
Dude, this
But
is
this
really gross.
story-
This is disgusting. Were you into Extreme Elvis also? Have you ever heard of Extreme
No.
Elvis? Wow, that's very shocking as a G.G. Allen person. Because Extreme Elvis kind of did the same kind of shit where he was a Elvis impersonator, but he would go on stage and piss in girls' mouths. He would fucking shove bottles up his
Wow.
ass while dressed up as a fat version of Elvis.
I would love to see that.
see what I got a question. Like, what's the germ for that? Where someone's like, I gotta set myself apart.
Attention whores.
Yeah, like.
Well, what's the longevity in that act too?
Not
like,
very.
Well,
Well,
until your
gonna-
sphincter like collapsed and is protracted, and
like-
what is it called? A pink balloon or
What's a pink
What,
balloon?
are you talking about-
Is that when
wait.
someone?
Oh, no, a pink sock.
a pink sock? Yeah, that was
Anal
my
prolapse?
nightmare.
Is that when
yeah,
that- yeah.
when it like kind of
Oh, a
slides out.
prolapse. Yeah.
So you can only do that.
You can get a taste of that One Guy, One Cup. You've seen that, right?
Oh, you love that.
No,
That one's pretty.
In comparison.
no,
I don't
no,
know if
no,
you'll
no.
recall this, but he made the news recently, Gigi did, when it was revealed that he relieved himself on stage, live. Why, Gigi, did you feel a need to defecate in front of a live audience?
Hard-hitting question.
Well-
This is this guy.
My body is the rock and roll temple, and my flesh, blood, and body fluids are a communion to the people.
That was on,
That's
by the way.
awesome.
Geraldo.
My
Geraldo.
favorite.
You really made the rounds,
That's
by the
my
way, to the daytime
favorite.
talk shows back in the day.
Yeah, how did-
Everybody wanted to have Gigi on.
And
He was on like Jenny Jones. I got that and he took. I thought that was the run, but he took ecstasy because this one of those ravers from New York at the time who like dismembered another raver because he was stealing his drug.
good ravers need to be dismembered.
Well, it's
I fully advocate.
yeah, it's part of the night.
if they exist
You're
anymore.
up all night. You got to figure out how you're going to pass the time. So someone's losing limbs.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I often think about that. I've had shows so bad where I was like, if I pull down my pants and took a shit right now, it might make things better.
Oh, yeah.
It might help.
Yeah, I
If you
thought,
ever
about,
wanted to do that, what would happen?
What would happen?
I thought about that during Sunday's show.
Fort Lauderdale.
No, it was no, but I've thought about doing something extreme, like not planning, but like there's times on stage where I'm like, yeah, what if I just jerked off on the front row right now?
Would you probably get arrested?
Oh yeah, and banned from that club, and you'd be in
But
trouble.
What if you were like, oh, this show's really sucky. I'll pretend that I have like an explosive bout of diarrhea, and then you could shit. So like the joke would be on them, but you would know. This is if you're really going to get into the game. If you're like, I'm going to make this happen.
You know what's interesting, though, is that I have had explosive diarrhea right before going up, and for some reason your body shuts down. It's like your body knows, like, no,
You don't
can't.
have it once you hit stage.
Yeah, it's so crazy. You can have a fever of like 104 and be shaking and sweating, and then perform.
hit the stage and you'll be all
Isn't
right.
that
And then
weird?
when you come off, actually you'll feel fine for the next few hours, but like the next day your body will be like, now you're
Wrecked.
really in trouble.
Is that fight or flight?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like a survival thing
Primitive.
that your body does.
It shuts off the valve.
You did. You've done like tons of performance live stuff though, right? With UCB and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I performed at the UCB Theater in New York for like 7 years.
7
I
years.
was there constantly. I signed up. I'd been doing like improv with weird little things around the city. Like, when you're just starting out, you're taking like a weird little, and then someone was like, "You'd be great for UCB," and I was like, "What's UCB?" And October in 2001, I signed up for a class and was there for a long time, performing constantly.
What's the
Constantly.
What is the worst show? What's the worst thing that's happened at a show?
Well, I don't know if this is the worst, but this is the first thing that comes to mind. I was on stage with like this group of. Oh wow! I just remembered. This group that I've been performing with for a year or two. It was our final show, and we were all excited but sad, and theater people are very emotions at the edge kind of thing. And during the show, a girl ran on stage, and while I was like doing something, so I had to do like a scene with this girl.
Oh, boy.
Who just ran on stage?
Ran on stage, and I met her. I met her like 6 months ago. I was like, she was an extra on the television show that I worked on.
You're like, hey, I'm a professional. You're still crazy.
Yeah.
She kept running into the scene, and I was like, wow. I don't know if that's like the worst thing.
Wait, what was it like talking to her on the set? Did she find you, or did you see her?
She just said something like, I remember you, and I think she remembered, and then she told me about it, and I recall because I remember it was alarming, like having someone not heckle you, but just
it's not okay.
Pop in. So.
Did you tell her like, hey, by the way, extras eat last once you get back to
I was like, get me out, dog. No, she was pretty nice, I didn't say anything aggressive because, I didn't want to.
Can I tell you, sidebar, one of my favorite stories about Sarah Burns, we lived in San Francisco, and she, at one point, you lived in, was it Folsom District? And you had some gay neighbors at some point.
West.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah,
that's
But remember, was that the one? And you're like, next door, I hear them. Remember that?
Oh, no, that was this guy that was friends with a friend, and they were next door to a dude.
Right.
And I'm not even entirely sure. It was a guy, and he just screaming, fuck that ass. That's all that they knew. That they don't know if it was 2 men, they don't know if it was like 3 men, they don't know if it's like a woman. It was just like somebody needed
to fuck that ass
fucked. And they became with a theory that like he had something mounted to the wall and that he was gonna like crash, and they would get like really scared that he was gonna come crashing through the wall. And, no, that wasn't my neighbor, unfortunately.
I thought that was yours.
So wish.
But I love that. Fuck that ass. Could you imagine hearing that?
Remember when I lived in Valley Village?
Fuck the ass.
When I lived in Valley Village, they shot tranny porn upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And man,
Lucky.
first of all, it was lit up like
gorgeous.
Yankee fucking stadium. Like you'd be like, why are so many lights up there? And then you'd see the tranny walk up. There's only like 4 people that would walk up, and then you'd see trannies, and then just fucking pounding. I mean, they would fucking pound each other for hours shooting their tranny porn. And they would always, on the way out, be like, hey, what's up?
like, you tell me.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah, well, you got to give it all for the camera.
You can't hold back.
You don't because you get like how many chances in this life to be the star, and you don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to blow. But in San Francisco, it's a specific kind of gay dude. Like I remember, like those Gay Pride Week or Folsom Street Fair Week. I mean, literally, you would see guys like fucking on the street corner. And you're like, really? You guys can't find a fucking mattress or an alleyway or?
Is this like only a San Francisco thing? I loved all the Pride parades because everyone was always nude.
Yeah, totally.
And like, is that cool?
Everywhere.
Like, because you can't walk to work on Monday. It's June 11th and you're happy, you're nude, but you can do it during like any parade actually.
Right.
You can
just
be naked.
Psychedelics.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so great.
Do you know God hates fags?
Oh, he needs to fucking recognize.
Yeah. There's an amazing documentary that you can see.
Oh my god.
On YouTube about that. That it's they follow that Westboro Baptist Church
Are those
in Kansas.
those criminal cretins
people
who like hang outside of people's
funerals? Yes.
Oh my god.
It's incredible, and they have like the best part of the signs they have like just hundreds of signs so they can pull them out whenever they want.
An assortment of rage.
Yes.
Misspelled. Yeah.
And it's all about like, it's all just super hateful, like awful shit. But then it just will be like, it'll say like U.S. Army, because it says there are theories that if you are in the military, then you're essentially defending
Don't ask,
an
don't
America that embraces fags. and so it'll say
right,
U.S. Army, and it's two guys butt fucking, and then it'll say U.S. Navy, and those are their signs. It's totally crazy.
Army's
But
totally
they're
queer.
so
Jesus, didn't someone give them a bunch of Kool-Aid to drink?
yeah.
Put them out of their misery? Like,
You have the documentary is incredible.
is it one of those things that you just, when you hear someone say something that's so, like,
Perfect.
like
That's what I've been thinking.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
means so wrong.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, when you hear someone say something that's so, like, it's so extreme, or it's so, like, hateful, or it's so, ignorant or something, and what do? How do you can't have a conversation with a person like that. You can't be like...
What's kind of, I think, the most fucked up about the whole thing, about this family in particular, is that they keep getting attention. Like, there's this documentary. So instead of, like, you want to be able to be like, that's so dumb, nobody should ever hear about this, they've managed to, like, we're talking about them now.
Yep.
Like, they managed to get into the news and into conversation all the time,
unfortunately.
instead of being, like, something that everybody would
Well,
dismiss.
shut up then.
Yeah.
Because God... No,
Yeah.
Can I tell you that? But I think these people that are obsessed with homos and defeating the gays, they're all latent homosexuals themselves.
Yeah, what's the fear? Why are
Yeah.
you so terrified about?
She's-
Why do you need your gays in
Yeah.
clubs and alleyways? Why
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
you just have them next door?
Yeah.
Raising sorry,
She's so
interrupting.
afraid. She's so afraid of eating a vagina, which is all she wants so bad. If someone just put a vagina in her face and
one
she
in
enjoyed
there.
it, she would just shut the fuck up. What did you have there?
I think you have some breaking news, don't you?
What's that?
Did they get Osama bin Laden?
No. You don't remember the breaking news? Dental Watch.
This is
Oh
breaking
my
news.
God, you guys! I forgot.
Christina,
I need
you've
to
got
hear
to get
about
out of
this
here
because-
soon, right?
Oh shit, you guys! I can't believe I forgot. I gotta get out of here at 1:30. I gotta go to the dentist today too, to have a crown put on.
Wait, could you tell
I
me
have
that
to
again?
leave. I have to leave half an hour after you to get a filling.
I haven't been to the dentist in a year and a
Dental.
half.
Really? I hope you have.
Let's
so
talk
many
about it.
cavities.
This is the dental podcast where we talk about dental woes for hours.
Thank God.
Wait, what have the
man.
last?
You've 8
few-
listeners,
I'm
right?
so glad you brought that up. I was so terrified that we forget about dental.
What have your last few appointments been about, Christina?
It's funny you should ask. I'm so glad somebody asked. I've been dying to talk about this. Well, I had a temporary crown put on, and then that crown got infected.
Oh, no.
And I had to get antibiotics because it kept me up at night, and I had to smoke a lot of pot. And I had to take a lot of Vicodin, and now I'm going to go back and get a crown put on.
Have you thought about
This is
have
exciting.
you thought about hiring
yeah.
a documentary film crew to like follow you
to
through
go.
this?
I have. I'm going to blog about it, vlog
Yeah,
about
you
it. We're
should.
going to be doing podcasts about it.
And I
should
wanna-
run it from my dentist's office.
I want to make a commitment to our listeners
Yeah.
that even though today is my last filling, I'm not gonna. I don't need to go back for another one. I'm going to make another appointment for something dental related, so that we can continue the oral
Yeah.
fixation that is this podcast. If you
Well,
will.
I'd like to thank our listeners too for writing in about your experiences with flossing
Yep.
or your experiences with fillings or crowns. Please let us know.
And actually, in all sincerity, thanks to all the mommy fans
Yes.
that came to the show in South Florida.
Yeah, that was so
That was really
cool.
cool. People that are fans of the show came to our show, our live show, showed us their tits and their dicks.
Yeah,
It was a really
it
nice
was
time.
really great.
How sweet.
It was special.
That's pretty rad. Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, it's cold.
Do you haven't been to the dentist in a while?
Yeah, Sarah. What about your dental?
Let's talk about your
problems?
teeth.
Well, first I'm going to start off by saying I don't have any cavities.
At all? Ever?
Never have.
You're going to get them all at once, and
Wow.
then you better start saving up now because you're going to be like $40,000.
You have nice teeth.
Great teeth.
You have
Look at
really
those
great
chompers.
teeth.
Look at those.
Yeah.
Oh, well, probably not anymore because it's been a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, how about this? How about when we get out of here, you come with us and you get x-rays and everything done right now, courtesy of
that would be magic.
Redban.
You know what would be really cool is if the dentist came here.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Blow our
Streaming?
listeners away.
That
It
would
would
be
be impossible
amazing.
probably to hear everything over the news chopper circling, covering the event.
We have to have the dentist come on the show.
Yeah.
I want you guys to try something. Until next podcast, try to brush your lover's teeth every day for a week.
Yeah.
That's something.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah.
Was that in Cosmo last month?
No, it wasn't in
I think it
Cosmo. It was in Boys Life.
In
I
Boys
still
Life.
subscribe to
Boys
Boys Life.
Life.
And it's supposed to be your den mother or your den father.
I'm gonna shampoo
Brush
Tommy's
your-
crotch.
That'd be nice.
I want to get in on that. I have toothbrushes for my cats.
You
They're
do, really?
very small.
You brush their teeth?
No. My vet was like, they're getting tooth decay. You have to deal with it. Here's some toothbrushes. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I gotta help these guys. Who would do that?
You let them rot. Let those
Like
teeth rot
Rocket?
out.
Like
I could
Rocket's
be-
tooth?
What the fuck? I'm not going to brush and floss
Fuck
my
that.
cat's teeth.
Have you ever seen cat's teeth? Like, have you looked?
Stupid.
So tiny and stupid.
Have you
They're so
seen
little. They're so
They
small.
don't even
some
count.
dogs' teeth that are like black and brown? and blue?
Really?
Yeah. Dogs' teeth just fucking rot away. They're chewing on anything and everything. They eat shit.
Rocks.
Sticks, fucking
know why-
bones.
I'm sounding such an asshole. I'm like about to give you guys a lesson in dogs eating shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Do it, Mommy.
It's not as dynamic as the dental
Mommy, tell
thing.
us.
Okay, well, if you ever see a dog eat a shit,
Yeah.
it's most likely a human shit.
Really?
What?
Because
How's that?
unlike dogs, humans don't use all the nutrients in the stuff they eat, so there are still nutrients left in human feces.
But dogs will eat their
Now-
own shit all the time, though.
Yeah. I've watched my dog.
Dogs are crack smokers.
No, my dog used to eat her shit all the time. Like, it was like a human dog shit-a-peed. It was just like she would shit it out and then eat it, and then she never ate.
The complete
God.
segment.
Yeah,
And
but
then they lick your face and it smells like shit.
yeah, thank God that's like done because that's.
What was your dog a rescue that like had to like fend?
I rescued it from the second floor of the Glendale Mall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
So he had
It was
just
an
been
Armenian
wandering
dog?
around Chess
It's a
King
pet
for
store.
too long and was flipping
And it had a
out at that
velour
point.
jumpsuit on. Body, come on, help me.
Smelled like polo.
Wait, speaking of crack, you wanted to address this crack smoking.
Yeah.
Yes, I
wait,
didn't date a
I
crack
remember
smoker.
that.
Oh, okay.
He just was a nut.
He was a friend, but we did
Yeah.
hang out with him in the dorms. I remember it was a guy. He was like a math major.
Yeah.
and he could recreationally do heroin and crack. Is this the guy I'm thinking of?
No, that was not the guy that I
That would
dated.
make the statement untrue
That's
again
the
that
one-
you dated a crack smoker.
There's a few
I'm
guys.
gonna like to say hello to my family who's listening. No, that was a guy who dated one of the girls we ran with in college,
Okay.
and then when she broke up with him, he kind of took a turn
Oh, right. Okay.
and would do drugs and was like vaguely kind of fey. Was that you?
No.
I
Well,
didn't.
just to
so scary.
wait, just to make it, just to be fair about this whole thing, I think everybody, at least in this room,
Smoked crack?
has smoked crack, has gone out with somebody of questionable mental
Yeah.
stability before. you know?
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, that's me. Do it more. I don't like my voice. Yeah. I did a lot of losers, and I think it's definitely led me down a road.
I like her like that.
I know. That's
That's so much better. My voice is,
But the guy you married is a super winner.
Wow, what
You
a
married
weird-
Charlie
Super
Sheen.
winner.
You married.
Mary Charlie Sheen.
Yep.
No, you married a
He's amazing.
home run,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
stand
cool
up,
dude.
cool dude.
I like that. I like him.
Yeah.
He's neat, you know?
He's a wonderful, wonderful man.
Genius.
Thanks.
But not those losers in your past, boy.
No.
I mean,
trying to think of the biggest
your husband has a
loser I
lot of
dated.
needle marks on his arm, but he's still a great
I tell you-
Yeah,
guy.
but he does it himself. It's not like he needs help doing it.
Can I tell you the biggest loser story? I dated a guy. You know him. At one point, he lived across the street from the dorms, and I didn't talk to him. Like, he wouldn't call me for like a week. And then I'd be obsessive because when you're 20, you're just obsessed. You're like, why isn't he calling? And I like totally stare into his window, and the shades were drawn. And a week later, I go over there. We finally talk, and he'd rearranged all of his furniture and made collages. And you're like, what's that? And of course, he was doing like massive amounts of meth.
Yeah.
I think, and that's what you do when you do meth. Remember we talked about this last week when you smoke. And when you smoke crack, I think you look through the peephole all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
you
you
get it in
do
your
meth.
head.
That's part of the fun, pal.
You get it in your
That's
head.
the game. That's getting high.
Who's coming around the pike? Let's get the people.
Get
yeah.
high, you look out. Who's out there?
Who's out?
That's what's fun about smoking crack.
I actually do have a crack story.
Did
do?
you ever smoked?
No.
No.
I've not yet. But the day is young. No, but I when I lived in Brooklyn up until recently, I lived in Brooklyn, and I was walking home one day, and these guys were obviously doing a transaction. Like somebody handed someone a bag, and someone had, one of those, and they saw me like note it, and I was like, and I went towards my door, and the guy who bought, I assumed it was crack, just because, I don't know why. Anyway, I'd like to say it's crack.
It smells different. Crack.
It's sweeter.
Yeah.
But which I think is true, right?
It does smell. Have you smelled crack before? Have
Yeah,
you smelled
it doesn't
It
smell
smells like
good.
cocaine.
Yeah,
It doesn't smell very good.
Yeah.
It smells better than it used to.
Yeah, doesn't smell. No, it doesn't smell good.
I've never smelled it, but
I mean, unless you
I really
unless
highly
you
highly
really love
recommend
crack,
it.
then it smells sweeter
Sweet,
than anything
yeah.
in the world. Yeah.
Smell that. It smells kind of like that little white bottle right there.
Oh, what about the other thing? Can I give her that? Here.
Sarah, look at this. You might want to get this. for
Well,
your
let her
anniversary.
smell it too. It's kind of like wine and cheese. You're supposed to.
so just smell it, and then you guys are gonna tell me what it is.
No,
I'll
no.
just put it in
You
hand.
You smell this first, and you open the other side of it. Then turn it upside down. Yeah. You open this. First you smell this, and then you open that up and look at it. And that's pretty much. It's like wine and cheese.
Oh God! That is
Now look at it. Hurry, look at it. Like.
that's someone's asshole. It's liquid ass. Well, let me look at this.
What do you think that is, Sarah?
Well,
what is that?
Redban, I thought I liked you.
What is it, Burns? What is
It's
that? What
somebody
did you see?
you put.
What the fuck is that?
I'm not smelling
Just
it.
smell it.
No way, dude.
It
I'm
smells
fucking-
like tea. No.
It
No,
does not
just take a
smell
little
it.
whiff of it. How
It
realistic.
says ass.
Does
I know,
smell
but look
like-
how realistic it is. That smells just like.
Does it smell like dirty floss?
No, it smells like.
I don't know if I want it. I don't want it. I don't
Just-
want it. She's
come
gonna
on.
throw up. I don't want it. I don't want it. No, you smell it, pig.
Just.
Oh my god, I caught a whiff of it. That's horrifying.
Why do you have that? Why do you have that?
Oh my
at
god,
all?
cover it. Cover it.
Oh, where is the
Dude, do you know what it
Top
smells
it off,
like?
man.
It smells like what I imagine Bert Kreischer's ass to smell like. Oh my god, like all sweaty and hairy.
Bert Kreischer's ass.
Oh my god, you know what? Tommy and I have been starting to play this game called What Does Her Vagina Smell Like?
Oh yeah.
Or what does that crotch smell like? Like when you see people in public and you're like, all right, that guy's like 500 pounds and he's wearing like jean shorts and flip flops.
Yeah.
What do his balls smell like?
Yeah.
Oh.
What
We
type
should
of
play that
meats?
game on this
What
show.
type of?
That's a pretty good game. That's
Yeah.
like better than the game where you're like, "What's their story?"
Oh yeah.
He sells bikes for a living and
Yeah.
with his mother.
What
Yeah.
What's it smell
celebrities
like is
have
fun.
you worked with that we could say what do their crotches smell
Oh my
like?
Let's
Catherine
go back. I'd
Heigl.
like to go back and take a
what's
hit
the-
on that liquid ass before I answer this question.
What does Natasha's? Did you
Natasha
work?
Leggero?
Yeah, you worked with Natasha, didn't you? And that,
Oh yeah, I know her.
She's
We
got
did
really pretty
Chelsea.
skin.
She's Natasha's clean though.
Yeah.
And she's wayfish. She's very thin.
The correct answer was the 1950s. Is what.
Oh, she's antiquing. She has an antique vagina. A
Antique.
1920s vagina.
Her vagina has a
Her
glove
Her
on
vagina
it
stings like that. It does have a glove on it.
Darling.
Yes. Oh,
and a
darling.
tiara right around the
Yes.
outside of the rim.
Yes.
Can you guys
She's
answer
adorable.
a question for me? I'm
Yes,
like 3
sweetie.
weeks late on this,
Go
and I
ahead.
didn't follow the wedding of Prince.
Oh.
But
so
why was
excited
everyone
about
wearing
that.
hats?
I know.
Well, I didn't know, and I didn't see the wedding, and I didn't because I'm not an English subject, so it wasn't for me. But I am curious. You mentioned gloves, and I'm
At the
hopefully
Right.
definitely changing the subject.
It's an
But,
old, it's a traditional like old ceremonial thing that like after a royal gets married at the
Gets wedded.
like,
You're gonna
sorry
say
at
that's
the after
stupid.
at the
That's
party
not what you
afterwards
say.
the royal family used to
Duh.
line up and masturbate onto the heads
yeah,
of the guests and so you wore a hat because your head isn't worthy of the fluid of
Yeah.
a royal family.
Wait, is this the
so
famous
it's a lot like
balcony?
my wedding.
Yes, the balcony
This is
shot.
the balcony scene where
Yep. Yes.
Prince William, and then the king. They jerk off onto the mast.
Yes.
Yeah, and people love that. People love them for it. Everyone
But
loves
you're
the
too
royal.
low. You
Why does that
understand if,
make
if
me
you're not a
laugh so
royal, she can still smell the
I can
ass.
still smell the ass. I feel like it's all over me. And then
Wait, what do you do with it though? Where do you put that?
see that thing.
But where do you drip that on? What do you drop that? Put the
Do you
droplets
put
onto?
it into the?
You're supposed
is that
to.
a buckle
You're supposed to put
or
it into a beverage.
No.
Into a beverage.
No, you're supposed to drop it like on the floor, like in the corner of like a room, and it smells like ass in that room.
Oh,
Or you get it onto
God.
someone. If you could get it onto
Accomplished.
someone's pointer finger,
someone's finger.
then they would shut down.
Right.
Oh my God.
See, originally I was going to put liquid ass inside the fleshlight, and so when people
Oh
go,
my
oh, and I'll be like,
God.
feel how real it feels, and they'll put their finger in it, and it smells like
You're a
ass.
fucked up dude.
You're a fucked up
Do
dude.
not leave
You're
me alone
such a
with this
dude.
guy.
Redban, you don't even know.
Have you seen this yet? What's
No,
on the
here we
TV
go.
right there? Check this out. This is actually from a movie called Me and You and Everyone We Know, and it's so fucking hilarious. I'm gonna try to sync this
Cutest
with
movie.
the
It's a
audio.
Miranda July film.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, it's so cute.
All right, let's see if I can.
Ask her if she likes bologna. What are you putting?
I asked her what kind of bosom she had. It's probably a man.
Why is it a man?
Because everyone just makes stuff up on these things. It's probably a man pretending to be a woman, okay? So picture a fat guy with a little wiener.
What's a bosom?
It's a nice word for titties.
Where's Mom?
What do you mean?
What do you think she's doing right now?
I don't know, screwing her new boyfriend, probably.
I think she's buying us presents.
Yeah, Robbie, right now she's probably buying us each a car. It's a man.
What
I
is
think
this,
it's a
Redban?
woman.
There's a lot of
I can
action.
tell it.
Watch this though.
What should we write? I have a big wiener.
I want to
Looks like
poop
Tom.
back and forth.
What? What does that mean?
Like, I'll poop into her butthole, and then she'll poop it back into my butthole. And then we'll just keep doing it back and forth with the same poop.
Oh my god. I'm going to put that.
That is genius.
So yeah, the whole scene's actually pretty funny. They go back and forth about like talking to a stranger, and they're like, "I wonder if this is a girl." And then later in the movie, they meet the little kid meets the person. It's like a grown woman.
Has to do the poop.
That is fantastic. I want
Hope
that
my
movie now.
kids
What is
write.
that
It's
movie?
called-
It's a fucking awesome movie.
It's really great. You should see
What's it called?
It's called Me and You and Everyone We Know. It's on Netflix streaming.
I'll poop.
Can I tell you, when we have kids, Tommy, I hope our children are like that. I pray that our kids end up like that.
Talking about
Talking
shit?
about shitting nonstop.
Just make sure that they know how to pronounce the word bosom.
Yeah,
That's a good
well,
point.
that was
that
always
harsh?
weird.
Yeah, that was like, ugh.
Bossum?
Awesome.
You know what would suck though? If our kids are not into teeth.
Well,
We have
don't perish the thought, all right? Don't even put it out there. Don't let God and the universe hear you thinking that.
I hope
Those
they
are
care.
negative energy.
I just feel,
What was I thinking about? Pooping. And then I had a thought about something.
You guys want to smell the liquor shit again?
no, I
No.
know.
Fuck nuts.
How'd you guys meet each other?
I want to wait.
Yeah,
I want
right
to talk
there.
about something with Sarah Burns though.
I know. But
Let's talk. Tell us about the new HBO show. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I am on this show that's coming out in, it didn't take long for me to, launch right into this spiel, right? I'm going to be on this show that's coming out in, August, September, called Enlightened, that Mike White wrote, and Laura Dern is the
I
lead.
love Laura Dern.
And it's. I mean, so you already shot how many episodes?
10
You
episodes.
shot 10 episodes. What
Wow.
is the What's the premise of the show?
It's Laura Dern's character has kind of a flip out in the office, loses her shit, and goes and kind of gets help, becomes enlightened, and then comes back as an enlightened person and annoying, the person who's uber aware of how enlightening, and
Yeah.
fantastic, and aware of recycling they are. It's
Yeah.
impossible to be around. So
Yeah.
she's kind of a train wreck and trying really hard to make things better, but annoying everyone around her and just kind of crashing
that's
and burning.
awesome.
That sounds
It's pretty
good.
great because it's fun to watch someone crash and burn constantly. And
There
she
is
just does that.
not even a comparison between the level of shows that HBO
Oh, yeah.
has and everybody else.
Yeah, it's
like
so
you're
good.
on the best of the best. There's
Yeah.
nothing
Yes.
better.
I hope
There's nothing better.
No,
like they
thank
consistently
God.
make
I better
the
not
best
fuck it up.
programming. Why are you ruining it?
I keep going in there and they're like, "Why are you ruining it?" I'm like, I cannot stop.
No, that's so. You got to be excited about that. I mean,
I am excited, but I have this natural I don't know. I just natural I'll probably fuck this up. I don't
Yeah.
trust
Yeah.
that it's great. It's so exciting, but the second I found out that the show was picked up, Mike's the creator sent an email got picked up. I immediately was like, yeah. And I started cleaning kitty litter. Like, I couldn't savor the moment.
You
I just was like, oh, I'm going to fail. But, you know,
that's everybody who's...
But that's showbiz, I think.
And that's
you never feel like
No.
people are going to find you out. Maya Rudolph said something once, like, no matter how well she does, she always thinks that people are going to, like, figure her out or figure out she's a fake or something, even though she's consistently, you know, successful. But
Paul Giamatti, I think, I saw an interview also where he was like, every time I get a job, I'm like, well, that's my last job.
Yes, that's how I feel every day.
Yeah.
People are like, way to go. I'm like,
that's how I feel about this podcast.
Yeah.
This is it. Well, can't get any better.
Can we come next
than
week?
liquid ass and flashlights.
No, but don't you think that
ourselves in dental
doesn't
talk.
everybody who performs, don't you think, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people, you feel like, oh, man, like you get down on yourself even after something awesome happens. You know, you go...
Yeah, because it's like, it's such a gamble. You can't really trust your luck. It's going to run out anytime soon, or some people are going to hate you, or it's not going to, it's all, I feel like it's all like a connections. You know, things go well, you meet the right person, they introduce you to the right person, that person brings you in, you get a job with this person, it's all, and then, you know, but if you ever have one of those days, like when you're walking through the street, well, maybe this doesn't happen here in LA, but in New York, you have those days where you're off. You can't get on your train, you miss your train, you're late for where you have to go, and everyone you walk by on the street knocks into you, everything goes wrong. It's just like I feel like it's one of those, like, it's all bad connections, or...
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I sound
absolutely.
Like a nutcase? What am I
No.
doing about?
But because I find that
I
I
have
go...
to take a hit on that ass again. Bring me right back in.
But I find that I meet, like, I'll go through waves of just shit people, where I'll just be hooked up or meeting or talking to just the fucking dregs of humanity. And you're like, really? Why do I have to fucking deal with this guy? Yeah, or why did that happen that way? And there's nothing you can do.
You are who your friends are.
Positive energy.
It's all about...
It's whatever...
It is.
Finding love.
It really is.
Feeding the healthy part of your soul.
Can I... Wait, is Gigolos... Is that show on Showtime or HBO?
Showtime.
Have you seen that show, Gigolos?
No.
Oh, you'll lose your mind.
Holy mother
What is it?
cunts.
Oh, my God.
It's a show about gigolos that they
It's
follow.
a reality show that follows 5 gigolos in Las Vegas.
And taking...
Male escorts, you know. It's
really
fantastic.
I gotta check this out.
There's great characters. Great characters.
I always wondered, like, with the male gigolo, like, is it mostly... Like, what are the women like that are they older women mostly?
There's the full spectrum. Like,
Really?
there's the ones that's hard to believe. I mean, you know, the show obviously is like, this is reality. You can see that they're following these guys around for real. But when you see there's a couple hot chicks, you're like, really? You had to hire someone to fuck you? Like, it doesn't.
So the show's probably fake.
Well, at least there's got to be
bits.
some bits that are completely contrived in this
yeah,
thing,
man.
because it's just, I mean, there was like one who was like, I'm a model, and then you can tell that she probably models at like car shows, but like, you know, like in bikinis and shit, but then she has an escort. Like, why would you
and then there's a school
Maybe she's
teacher.
crazy.
Could be.
Maybe. Then there's a school teacher who has like what Tommy loves to, the blonde hair with black streaks.
Oh
chick.
yeah.
We've also deduced that girls that smell like vanilla are whores. Now,
I'll ride with this.
what do you
I'll
think?
see where this is
What
going.
do you smell like? What's your smell?
Like licorice.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
I tell her.
Well, this all came when we saw whores walking by one time.
Yeah.
And then they
what's
smelled.
her vagina smell like? I
Oh
think
wait.
we're-
Oh, you're saying what is?
No, not what her
No,
bag
no.
smells like. But like we're saying, those girls always like
lather on.
slutty girls. They put on like the
Dry
vanilla lotion. But then you're like, do you like that? And I was like, yeah, I like that.
He
And they're
loves
like, do you
it.
like the way horse smell? I'm like, fucking love the way horse smell.
Yeah.
My
But then now
lotion-
you also have vanilla lotion scented things.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I like to smell like a whore. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't shower, so I don't need lotion to smell like a whore.
Right.
Now, my lotion smells like figs.
Figs? Like Fig
Figs.
Newton?
Like fig Newtons.
I like the smell of fig.
I love the smell of fig. I love the smell of fig.
So random.
Little known fact.
Nobody does.
It's crazy.
Sarah, so are you getting used to LA? You know, you just moved here like a few months ago, and I know you miss New York.
I miss it so
New
much.
Yorkers always hate LA when they move here.
Well, you know, I spent the last couple of years coming back and forth, and I love New York. I get to see you guys all the time. I love that, but I miss New York so much. I'm afraid like it's unnatural the amount of like longing I have for New York.
Yeah.
The other day I was talking about it with someone, and I was like, "Oh, I miss New York. I miss New York," and they're like, you know, but you know. LA's great. You'll get used to it. And I was like, yeah, I know, but does anybody feel passion about Los Angeles the way New Yorkers
Can
are?
I tell you, I do now, especially as much as I travel. Every time I land, I come into LAX airport and I see my city, I'm inspired to get a tattoo of LA on my fucking
I think you should get
tit.
that.
Yeah, because this
Maybe
is
not
the best city. For me, I grew up here and the more I leave it, the more I love coming back. And I'm like, oh.
Have you got your medical marijuana license yet? That also helps.
I will tell you. I just finally went to the DMV and got my license for the sole purpose. I was like, I don't want to be a driver. I want to keep my New York, but I want a license. So.
Oh, it's the
Gotta
best.
get it,
and then that
dude.
totally changes your feeling of Los Angeles once you get that license.
Because you're high.
Huh?
You're like, I could be
the best.
Are you an LA fan? You like LA, right?
When I first moved here, I didn't like LA for a good 2 to 3 years, and then now I love it.
Where'd you move from?
Ohio.
Oh, all right. Well, then I can see why. Like,
No, I mean, I see. Like as New York, I don't get how people like New York. 'Cause I go to New York and I start getting like a panic attack. There's too many fucking people everywhere. I want space. I want better weather. LA, you're just walking around. It's sunny outside. All the people everywhere are beautiful. You
I
fucking
love it.
put your car down, get a joint while you're walking on Melrose. You know, you just.
well, I guess you gave two more options. Everyone I asked about, like, well, when am I going to feel it? Because I know it's so everyone knocks LA, it's whatever. And so I made a point of trying to love LA, but everyone, when I asked them, like, well, what's so great about LA? The first thing they say is the weather.
Oh, it is, man.
The weather
You
blows
can't.
in New York, but I just feel so passionate about, like, everything that happens in New York. Like, they're digging up the street? What the fuck? Like, I'm so involved and, like, invested in everything, but people could blow up the pier in front of me in Los Angeles, and I'd be like, oh, well, the weather's nice.
I gotta say,
Wow.
the weather thing, it could not be more true. And those who don't know what we have here have no
So
idea
cute.
how fucking tremendous it is
It really
to
is
have
nice.
great weather.
Especially when we
It's
hear New
fucking
York,
amazing.
we hear New York blizzards, feet
The
of
whole
snow,
country.
and we're like on
but
the
whole
ocean,
country,
smoking a
like the whole country
Yeah.
will be through horrible. It'll be sleet, hail, snow,
yeah,
blizzards, and it's like fucking 71 here.
I guess in spite of all that, you still have to love New York, and so you're there
Right.
like, oh, fuck these people, I hate this weather, but I love it. It's
But
like,
New York also is like, it feels like when you're in New York, I feel like, you're on, this is the heartbeat of it. Like, you're where
Yeah,
it's at.
for sure.
So
you're part of the crew, and you're there.
Definitely.
You're like a member of the world.
and that doesn't have, like, you don't really necessarily feel like that here. I agree with
No.
that. And New York, you feel like everything, this is where it's happening. Like, there's action. There's things going on.
You know what?
It-
Can I tell you
it
my
feels
favorite
alive.
part about New York is public fights.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's
oh, God,
the fucking
I love
best,
that.
dude. On the
It is
subway.
your right to watch.
Yeah, it is.
It is your right to watch. Stop what you're doing.
Yeah, one time Sarah and I, like, I forget, years ago we were on the subway together. It was like the middle of summer. It was hot as fuck. It was around the Puerto Rican Pride Parade. So it was just a fiasco.
That's a lot of
It was
fights.
so
Yeah.
gross. Yeah. And we were on the subway and this guy was looking at the other guy and he's like, yo, man, I know you. And he's like, I don't know you, man. He's like, no, I know you. We met before, remember? And the guy's like, yo, man, all I remember is my foot in your ass in about 5 seconds. And I was like, this is the best.
Gorgeous.
That's so great. Like, moments like that, I do miss.
You can't really do that here. Like, I've blown
You
up
do.
at people, and then they're like, what? I flipped someone off once, and I saw them shut down. Like, what?
Yeah,
You
we're
don't
not
do
that aggressive.
I have to learn not to do that.
I
It's
got
actually
aggressive.
better.
I got aggressive in public yesterday. with a lady.
What happened?
Good
Fucking
girl.
lost her
Good
shit.
I
girl.
lost my shit on somebody.
Mommy lost
It's
her
my second
shit.
time in the
Mommy.
same week.
What happened?
It was the second time in a week that on a flight, somebody went to either put stuff on my bag in the overhead compartment or to move it. But the moving it thing was like, I'm sitting down, my bag is right above me in the overhead compartment, and people are, coming in. And then, like, as it's filling up, this lady comes, and I look up, she grabs my bag, and she goes, she starts moving. I go, don't do that. And she looked at me, and she was like, what? I go, don't fucking touch my bag.
Good girl.
And she was like, well, there's room up here for yours, but my bag's bigger. I go, don't touch my bag. It's not yours. I don't want you to put it up there.
Right.
And she was like, well, what am I going to put mine? I go, it's not my problem.
Right.
I said, I'll move my bag because I want it near me. I don't want you touching my stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
And
touch
then,
my shit.
so I found like a place right behind me, and then you know, she was like, "Oh my God," and this guy was like, "Well, do you mind? Is it okay?" Everybody was all like, you know, "Is everything all right?" And then another, I sat down, and then a lady was like, "I was about to say something," and I looked, and I couldn't find who said it, but apparently a lady was, you know, I don't know if she was going to say something to me or whatever. But earlier in the week, a guy, I had my backpack above me and has my, like I said, my laptop in it. He takes this huge bag and he starts putting it on top. So I had to stop him. I go, "Sir, don't do that." And he was like, "What?" I go, "I don't want you putting your 100-pound carry-on on top of my laptop. Do you mind putting it somewhere else?"
Right.
And he was just like, "Oh."
I hate that shit. The worst is when they do move your bag. Like, I like my
What
shit
the fuck?
above me.
Why are you moving my bag?
Yeah.
It's my bag. I bought it. I get to move it.
Right, and I'll pay the extra money like at Southwest so I can get on the plane early so I can have my bag in front of me so when I get out I can just grab my bag and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I had people like move my bags and they'll like take it like 5 rows down
Yes.
and I'm like, no, that's, you know, that means I have to fucking sit there for an extra 10 minutes because you know.
Right,
And do you know?
I'm sorry. Can I, Redban? Can I have
Fart
the,
spray
Can
on
I
the
have
plane.
the CNN?
No,
music
liquid
really
ass.
quick?
Coat your bag with liquid ass.
Liquid
no one
ass
will touch that.
on the plane. And that's all you need to know.
You guys, I'm sorry. I have to go. I have to go get my dental crown put on. I got a hard out. I got to go to the dentist right now. I'm sorry. I have to leave. But I love you guys and carry on without
You're
me.
really leaving.
I'll see
Okay.
you guys.
All right.
I love you, Sarah Burns. Thank you so
Will
much.
you please let me know what happens on the way, during, and home from the dentist?
I'm gonna call in.
Can you? Do you have a phone line patched in?
I'll
Can
miss
we,
you.
Can we patch her in?
Yeah, we should. You should call in. I'm sitting here at the dentist office.
Those are so cute. Those glasses.
I love you, Burns.
I me too.
Guys.
I'll keep you posted about the little beagle.
Bye, dear.
I'm gonna piss.
Okay.
Wow.
Tommy, you can like now lay down if you want to.
I can do whatever I want.
You could lay down and I could be your therapist.
I need a session really badly.
I think you need to ask me.
We didn't mention. Okay. There's 2 other movies that you didn't mention that you were in. I just realized you're in the Drew Barrymore one.
Oh, the Roller Girl one, or the
No, I wish that movie was so great, wasn't it?
I haven't seen it.
It's really cool. I like it. It's,
What's the one you were in?
Going Distance.
Going Distance.
Back to Whip It. Just kidding.
And Cop Out. You haven't seen
Oh
Cop
yeah,
Out?
wow.
yeah. There's it's all like tiny. It's like so small, but
it's still a funny scene.
we filmed it in a morgue in Queens.
Wow.
And there were real bodies in there.
Oh no!
I did not know this for like 2.5 hours.
My favorite thing about this, one of the funniest things that I've heard, I had no idea this happened. Probably the most annoying thing as a comic is when you meet people. And like at this point, I've been doing it long enough where I know basically not to say that I'm a comic. Like I'll make up all kinds of jobs. But if you do, people are like, "Oh, really? Tell me a joke."
Great. I
And
live for this.
it's the worst thing. And then you told me that you'll be like, "Yeah, I'm an actor, I'm an actress." And people will be like, "Hey, act."
Someone said that to me once.
Can you imagine?
Hey,
act?
She was like, "You're an actress? Really?
You should have something prepared for that.
Do a scene."
like-
Well,
do a scene.
Do a scene.
Come on.
Oh, really? And so I've decided that if anyone ever says that to me again, I'm going to do the scene from Raging Bull where Robert De Niro, he confronts Joe Pesci. "You fuck my wife? You fuck my wife?" That's just what I'm going to do until the person excuses themselves from the rest.
Just gonna
Really?
back up.
Because you asked me to do a scene,
Yeah.
and I've just selected
You
one of
can't
5
break.
favorites.
Yeah, you just gotta-
fuck
you
my
gotta
wife.
fuck
You
my
fuck my
wife.
wife. Tell me the truth. You fuck my truth. You fuck my wife.
You gotta
What?
do. Yeah, you do both sides, right?
Mhm.
What are you talking about? I didn't fuck your wife.
Come on, we're all friends here. Come on, you fuck my wife. Yeah.
But really get into it, right? Like, you really,
Yeah.
I can't believe you fucked my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What part of LA did you move to? What area?
Silver Lake.
Silver Lake. Well, how'd you know how to be so trendy so fast?
East side.
Have a radar. You know, I just can
Trendar.
snout out what is trendy, cool. It's really kind of it's really lovely. I cannot believe we're in a city because there's nobody around except people walking dogs and babies.
I
But
feel bad. You really missed New York.
I really do. I hope I'm not becoming crazy about it. However, everything is better. Oh, mommy. I need a picture of my home.
This is one of my favorite exercise tapes I work for. This is
on YouTube?
Yeah, it's the
really awesome.
P90X. So.
Is it like a lady just doing it, or is it like for someone who?
Burns, are you going to leave? Or are you going to go back to New York then? Is that what this is all about?
No, I'm here. I moved here, so I have to. I love it. It's great. It could be worse. I could be living like somewhere really.
Are you gonna go?
Dear God.
Are you gonna? What is going on?
That's an elephant woman.
Oh man! God damn it! What is? He's the worst. What is
What are they gonna do? Are they gonna help her?
I hope so.
Oh, what agony she must be in!
God,
I'm
can
gonna
you imagine
kill
the
myself.
blowjobs
This
from
is
that?
great.
Will you
thanks.
play the second clip, the audio on of like
hold her cheek up
about gaining strength? Through what on the one I sent you.
The second audio clip.
The one that starts at like 4 something. It says build strength through.
Build strength through.
Yeah.
Oh, you wrote that, but
it's from the clip that's above it. So use that same.
Oh, I see what
link.
you're saying.
Yeah,
402.
and you just forward to 402.
All right, let's go.
Because I just wanted to get Sarah's perspective, as a woman, whether or not this makes sense to
All
you.
right, yeah. No, I'm
you-
dialing in.
You have insight.
I do. I'm a woman.
Okay, let's put it this
I'm
way.
going to teach you a lesson of life. I'm going to rape you.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. People feel sorry for themselves after they're raped, and that's not what they should do. They should build from strength. If a girl gets raped when she's 10, she may not get raped and killed when she's 15 because she'll be conditioned for that situation.
And you're...
Now, okay, you look at violence. You can look at violence from two sides of the spectrum here. Listen, you can look... Okay, if I'm a victim, I can grow strength from being a victim because I'm not going to let it happen to me again. And if I'm the predator, if you people out there, life is too short to play the waiting game.
There you go.
If there are people out there, if you got...
Gigi was just making a point that what you should do if you're raped is build strength.
Yeah.
You can get conditioned. So now you're raped when you're 10, you're not raped and killed when you're 15. What do you think?
Well, I always thought he was misguided and when given a microphone was, as outlandish. One of my problem, and I can say this now because he's safely buried, so he's not going to come for me, but was that like he would say the craziest shit to get, because punk rock rebellion, to be crazy and say what, I'm just repeating myself, but say what was the craziest. I don't agree with him actually because people.
No, I don't agree with him at all.
Oh yeah, I know, you're right.
Yeah.
But he's ignorant, and I think trying really hard to. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
The feces. I think that my favorite thing is his philosophy. Well, now I didn't know his philosophy on rape, that you can build strength through that. But that coupled with his appreciation of his own fecal matter, two of my favorite things.
As a lube.
Yeah.
To shit it out and then use it to jam it back in.
Jam it back in your asshole.
I like recycling. Now
yeah,
that Christine,
he's one of the first green guys out there. He's like fucking
Green with
Whole
the
Foods. You're jumping on the train.
little
I've been
speckles
doing
of
this for
red.
quite some time.
So now that Christina's gone, I guess we can learn
fun?
some. Learn some more
Great.
about her. What's some Christina stories that you were too embarrassed to talk about? What was that story that you were thinking about talking about, but you don't know if you can, or if you don't know if you wanted to, regarding that guy?
Christina.
Oh.
Let me think of a Christina story.
Oh, that's a different story. I think that story. I don't know if that story would work without Christina here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
But you want dirt on Christina?
Yeah, let's get
feel
some
like
dirt on
just
Christina.
go see her act.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
It's true.
Christina was like the first person I met in college, actually.
What was she like?
Did you have
She
an
was
affair with
exactly
her?
the
Did
same.
She was?
Yeah, we
one
were
of those
living
drunk-
together for 10 months until we realized we were both heterosexual. No, we lived in a dorm together. We lived in an all girls dorm, and the floor that I was on had a nun living on it.
Wow.
Who would come by if she knew that we were partying to knock. Would you like to come down to the mission today? And
Really?
and yeah, she did that once my friends were over, and I guess she heard the bottles clinking, and she knocked on the door and was like, "I'm going down to the mission if you'd like to serve food." And my friends were like, "Fuck that, no." Because they were visiting.
Sure.
No.
Long Island girls?
Yeah, they were girls.
Fuck
from Long
that.
Island. Fuck that. That's bullshit. We drink Zima. We were drinking Zima, which was the drink of choice.
I think Christine, when we were in San Francisco, she was like, I met Sarah here, and she was wearing like overalls and like smoking, and I don't know. Just, she went into a very perfect detailed picture of you.
I had a pair of overalls in college, and whenever I wore them, people were like, What? They
Really?
were very comfortable, and I wore them. And I had kind of, I guess, a uniform that wasn't a part of, so it always kind of blew people away. But
Yeah.
I guess I went up to Christina and she was wearing her goth uniform.
Oh yeah.
And her best friend Shauna was wearing her goth uniform, and I was like, "Oh, we're kindred spirits." But of course, forgetting that I was wearing these denim overalls at the time. But
when they were like, "We don't really want to hang with you."
No, but I wouldn't. I was like, "What's up? Can I have a light?" Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Whatever." But I didn't see myself as this asshole wearing overalls.
Right.
I saw myself as like whoever I was,
Right.
and so I just kind of held on. And then they took me to see a hypnotist that night, and then we became friends.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm. We saw like somebody hypnotize a crowd.
Wow. Was it fun?
Yeah.
You know what I did one time in college? We had the hypnotist come to entertain everybody, and he does the whole like, and now fall asleep. And I
was the dude.
No, I consciously was like, I'm gonna act like overdo it, like but on purpose. So he was like, he passed out, and I did this whole like slumped over, like because he was like, the people that are hypnotized will be like out, and I was like. And everybody around me was like, "Look at Tom, he's totally fucking out." And the guy called me up, and I totally was like so hyper aware of like people were like, "What was it like?" And I was like, "You don't understand. I was pretending the entire time." Like they were like, because he was like, "Now you love the girl next to you," and I was like,
"Oh, you should have just started like grabbing boobs and stuff."
You could get away with anything, and they'd be like, "He's totally like he's brain controlled right now," and then you're like, "I'm repulsed by you," and then they like made you dance, and I was just doing like shoulder pop and lock stuff, and they were like, "That was crazy, you were fucking." I was like, "No, dude, that was completely 100% me." They're like, no, but you were being influenced, and I was like, "No, I was completely aware."
I don't know, Tom.
Doing.
There is some truth to that. You could seriously still be hypnotized. You
Right
could have been
now?
living the last 25 years of your life hypnotized, and how would you know?
I did not graduate 25 years ago.
32 years ago.
I just threw an arbitrary number out there. I graduated 4 years ago. So.
Oh, you did? Yeah, because you're just.
I'm still working through my.
Are you getting your
undergrad
degree right now?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on that.
VCR repair?
Yeah.
How much?
Do you remember when that was a commercial, a real commercial? Like, and now you could get a technical degree in VCR repair, refrigerator, maintenance.
God, the dreams.
Do you hate auditioning as much as I do?
I like it.
You do? Fuck, that's why she's successful.
No. I'm not successful.
Yes, you are.
I it's a beast that you have to kind of like.
So
embrace.
now you really embrace it.
So but the way I look at it is, I'm going to go into this room and I'll be sweating probably profusely, and I'll be performing in a disjointed manner and being judged.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
leave that up.
and
look at that picture.
Oh God,
Sarah, that's a great photo of you.
I like this photo.
You should.
It's a pretty good photo. I don't take good photographs.
Get out of here.
No, I don't.
Right.
I sent you guys the picture, my press photo. Did Christina show you the press photo?
No, she doesn't share anything.
Oh, it's a photo if you need to use it for press. I'll send it to you on your phone.
Excuse me.
But what the hell was I talking about? Oh, it's like I look at it as like a chance to perform.
You do?
Mm-hmm. And then like people are the guys on the other side are just as nervous for you.
Do you really get physical with like if the scene? Basically, I'm talking to you like an acting coach. If it says like you're
I'm
getting
$110,
you're getting dressed. Do you do like a whole thing where you're like
bad.
you act like you're getting dressed if the scene says that?
Not really, because you couldn't get undressed. So then you just be like, meh.
Right. You don't do like space work when you're auditioning.
No. Unless I have to pour myself a glass of cool lemonade, then
Then
I
you do.
automatically bring out my cool lemonade pitcher and pour myself a glass.
Excellent.
Set it down on the eye.
Give us more acting tips.
When you're preparing for a scene, like you fuck my wife.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What do you want to know? I mean, you don't want to know from me because I don't know what I'm doing.
What are you talking about? All you do is book jobs.
I'm booking a job right now.
Yeah.
Someone out there is like, gotta get this kid.
Do you know who watches this?
Gotta get this kid.
This podcast every single week. Seriously?
Who?
Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh my God, Francis. My name is Sarah Burns. I'm going to do a scene. I've prepared it. It's from Raging Bull. It says, no, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead and.
Did you fuck my wife? You fuck my wife? Did you fuck?
Can you do a little more energy?
Oh no, I'm nervous. It's Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, I see. Okay. Look at those teeth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
perfect.
Francis just pretty much watches for the teeth.
He does.
Yeah.
He loves the
he's
dental
a
talk.
big teeth. They say he's an ass man, but he's a teeth man.
He.
Look at the glee on my face there.
What is this from? Is this from a movie or?
I love you, man.
Oh, I love you, man.
No, I like you now. I'm just saying.
She's
I
just
love you,
telling you, I love you, man.
I love you, man.
That's cool. So this is your IMDb.
Yay.
We're looking at her IMDb.
Go me. I really must be an interesting guest.
Well, we're just seeing what else you got going on your
Look at
IMDb.
you. Jesus.
Damn, you got some good stuff going on here. But your star meter seems to be taking a hit this
I'm
week.
taking a hit.
Look.
4% down.
I'm taking a hit. Yeah. No.
What
no,
happened? Did you
that's
get
after
caught
a couple-
doing something?
Well, I spoke out publicly about the capturing of Osama bin Laden. I was like, I want to see those pictures. People were like, fuck this.
And your star meter went down.
Yeah, they were like, that's not cool.
Look at that picture.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Brigade,
Hi.
Cavalier,
How are you, feet? Yeah.
Shootless.
All right. Moving right along. I'm.
Wait,
Oh, God,
you
there's-
began your professional acting career as America's second favorite purple guy, Barney?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I used to go to kids' birthday parties on Long Island as Barney and perform.
What, are you being serious?
Yeah. I'm
I-
totally serious. I right before I went to college, I got a job during
What was that like?
it was horrible. The last party I did was for the Gotti family. It was someone's first communion.
Shut up.
It was insane. I would go to parties as a clown, and like I would arrive and I'd do like balloon animals and play games and like sing. Like I wouldn't sing, but I would like play songs and dance. And kids are, you know, horrible when they're in gangs like that. They're really aggressive, and I was so nervous, and I had like an hour of training from the woman. And one time I was making balloon animals, and the kids were all wanted more balloon animals, and they can smell fear, and they know the victim in the group.
Yep.
So my balloon pump broke, and I was still making balloon animals for like an hour, and then
What?
I would go and be like, "Oh, excuse me, I have a telephone call." And then I'd leave, and I'd go into the bathroom, and I'd change into Barney, sometimes
Holy
Lamb
shit.
Chop.
Are you
And,
freaking out like as you're changing?
Horrible. And you don't have a sweater.
Yeah.
So, like, I was sweating.
You're a
So
sweater?
I have a huge sweater. I'm soaked in sweat all the time. But one of the only things that the woman who trained me told me to do, like, the only advice she gave me was, like, do not go to the parties dressed as Bonnie. Don't drive around in the Bonnie costume, because a Bonnie was at one time, this is Long Island, so at one time was driving to a party, and a group of teenagers saw him and pulled him out of his car and beat him up.
Jesus.
Wow.
So that was the training. Like, she gave me a tape. She was like, go and go. So I was
Warning.
like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. And so in halfway through the party, I'd leave, and then I would change into this costume.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever did it, I overheard the mother say, like, Anthony, no hitting. This is going on the VHS. Like, they were taping it, so they were warning the kids not to hit me, because they
Wow.
are aggressive.
Yeah.
They are aggressive. And then I'd come out in the Barney costume and dance, and they would yell at me. Why aren't you talking? Why can't you say anything? Like, they didn't buy it. The older kids would be the ringleaders. And the last party I did was for a Gotti family party.
Really?
And I was late. And I was so scared. And when I showed up, the woman was like, "You're late." And when I left, finally, I was there for a while because I was so scared of, like, time. I got to check out. They paid me like from a huge knot of cash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cool. I don't know if it was like John Gotti,
Right,
but it
but
was, this was Long Island, so there's the Gottis all lived
all
kind
over
of
there.
around, and I quit.
Don't those jobs though? They really like, not just because it's a performing job, but like a weird kind of shitty job is like, it does something for you. You know what I mean? Like it still is there for the rest of your life. It teaches you something. Like, I've had shit jobs. Like, I worked at like fucking basically a place where you rent rooms to fuck like prostitutes.
Where in Florida?
Here in LA, my first job here.
Oh, jeez.
They called themselves a spa. They were like, it's
Yeah,
a spa.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, spas are cool. Like, I'll work at a spa. and like, within like the training, I was like, so what services do they offer here? And they're like, we got rooms, they got jacuzzis, and beds.
And
I was
then
like,
you have to
what do you
peel
do?
away.
And the job was, people were like, I want that room for an hour or 2 hours. And the job is then you clean up afterwards. So you find like condoms, used condoms, change the sheets, change the water.
You had to do that?
Did you ever see any like?
Yeah, I
cum
saw.
all over the wall. Or
I didn't
shit?
see cum all over the wall. I saw a lot of used condoms, pubic hair, fluid. Like, you see fluid everywhere, and then
Fluid.
yeah, you just see like stained sheets, But the best would be
The wet spot.
Somebody could not check into the room before both parties were there, but they would want to a lot of times because they were meeting like escorts and prostitutes, you know. So a guy would be like, yeah, I reserved the the Barcelona room. And I'd be like, all
But
right.
he didn't want to be.
So he'd be like, can I go? And I'd be like, no, you got to wait till the other people get here. He's like, I'd rather just wait in the room. I'd be like, yeah, you're not
No,
allowed
it's a
to.
Barcelona room, son.
And
You got to wait your turn.
You got to wait for all Spanish-related rooms.
It's a lot. It makes sense.
Then a guy would show up, right? Because the guy would obviously be like, he'd be nervous. And then like another guy would walk in and the guy would be like, Todd? I'd be like, are you Marcus? Yeah. He's like, oh, hey. And then I was like, oh, like he just hired
A guy to have sex with
right
in
that
the
he's never
Barcelona
met
room.
before in the Barcelona room. And then I'd be like, now you can go to the Barcelona room. And he would always be like, you could see like real, like shame come over his face. And then I'd walk them. And then sometimes they would be in those rooms like seriously less than 5 minutes. Like 3 minutes, they would come back like, all right, cool. Here's the, like you already paid like for the hour up front, like later. And then they just scoot out and be like, all right, like it was real, just like let's do.
Well, that's the Barcelona room for you.
That's just Mediterranean themed
Yeah,
rooms.
I mean, it's all out on the table for you. There's no bullshitting.
You get in there, you have your jamón serrano, and then you leave. There's no point in sticking around. If you want to stick around, you go to the Japanese garden room,
Yeah, you go to the you do the
the Greek
Australian
islands room,
belt.
Australian belt. You do the coral reef.
Oh, you do the coral. Well, I could tell you, I've lost hours in the coral reef room.
You stay in there.
Yeah.
And it's worth it.
Yeah, well, you got to come out slowly because you don't want to get the bends.
That's right. Take your time. And there's so much to see, coral reef.
Oh, God, there's so much to see.
What are you going to see in Barcelona?
All that fluid.
Lots of fluid.
Magic.
Did you ever have an awful, embarrassing, kind of shameful job?
No.
I was gonna say I was Barney also, and
No, you were not.
Yeah, I there was a store I worked for called Media Play, and they had when we had an opening for like 2 weeks, they had like people dressed up as characters, and it was either like, hey, I could do my regular job, or I can just dress up as a character. And to me, that was like better than working at a music store, like fucking doing a cashier job all day. At least in the Barney outfit, I could smoke a shitload of weed and get high and shit like that. So I did that, and it wasn't like Barney. It looked exactly like Barney, but it was like a generic Barney. And I remember it had like a really long tail that like you had to drag and everything. And
Because
so
it's not painful enough.
yeah, and so I was pretty good. Like the kids liked me because I could actually do the Barney song, like "Oh, I love you, you love me," that
I
shit.
need your autograph.
Yeah, but I got fired from doing it because I wiped out a bunch of little kids were standing behind me all lined up, and I turned and my tail just swiped them and like knocked them all down.
Why
And that's
would
why you
they
got
fire you
fired?
for that?
Well, I didn't get fired, but they were like, "All right, you can't be doing this anymore. We're going to put
Yeah.
you back inside."
You're
because-
super high, too. You're super high. Can I get CNN music real quick?
Well, 1 second. Here we go.
Breaking news?
Well, I just wanted to guys, I also have a dentist appointment.
Oh.
What?
I have to get going. I have to get a filling. It's the last one. It's 3 weeks in a row that I've had a filling.
I'm going to go to your dentist at some point. When
He's
I do, can I
phenomenal.
come back here and
Talk about it?
can I come right before the appointment so I
Yes.
can be like, I gotta go?
Yeah. We can really make it.
Yeah.
So just before we go, thank you so much for joining us today.
my
I hope you had a
pleasure.
good time. Thank
I
you.
did. I love seeing you guys, and it's really nice to meet you. And
It was a great meeting
I'm
you,
not
and good
shaking
luck on your
hand.
show.
No, I'm just kidding.
Good luck on your show.
Oh,
That's
thanks,
fucking
thanks,
awesome.
Thanks. Please watch it. I hope it's
This weekend, please. We've had enough. Of that.
okay. It's called Enlightened.
It's on like TBS. or
HBO.
something.
It's
Whatever.
TBS. It's on.
Sarah Burns. See my IMDb page and help my.
And check out her website. She spent a lot of money on this website, and what was it, $15,000 on this website? That's more than Jim Carrey.
Well, that was the initial payment, $15,000. I'm
That's
still
just,
paying off the interest.
now you're doing
'cause
the
I took a
design
loan.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting to the nitty gritty.
So this weekend, I will be in San Francisco with one Joe Rogan and Sam Tripoli at Cobb's. So I don't know if there's any tickets left, but that'll be fun. Christina will be at the Palms in Las Vegas. And next week, I will be in Cincinnati at the Newport Funny Bone. So come out if you're in the Cincinnati area to the Newport Funny Bone. Redban, do you have anything coming up?
We have a show, Sal's, Wednesday. Joe Rogan, Doug Benson, if you want to stop by. Sam Tripoli's going to jump up on there.
This Wednesday?
This Wednesday at 8 p.m. There's only a few tickets left, but if you want to RSVP, go to salscomedyhole.com. And I haven't done comedy in 3 weeks, so I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Are you gonna be on the show? Excellent. And
Our first time back, so it was a good one.
yeah, right?
Bernsey, do you have anything coming up that you can tell anybody about?
I'm going to a barbecue on Saturday.
Barbecue on Saturday. Is everybody invited that's listening?
Everyone who is listening is invited. Until the Boca Burgers run out.
Thanks for your acting tips.
Hey, you're welcome. Francis, give us both a job.
Look, I'm going to talk to him today. He always calls me about the show, so
just like let him. If he's making a movie, let me get coverage, like anything. I've got a couple more years
okay.
left on.
I mean, clearly, you know how to knock an audition out of the park. You do. I can't wait to see one. I want to see one of your auditions live. Can I go to the next one?
Yeah, I think you should start coming
should
with me as
help.
my bodyguard,
That'd
or
be
just
cool.
taking notes. Be like, you know what? I'm between bookings. I'm between jobs, so
Just kind of watching.
I'm making some
her
extra
work.
money on the side, and he's one of my pupils.
What if I sat in the room with casting directors and stuff while you were auditioning, and I would just be like,
It's weird to audition for your friends.
It is,
I've
huh?
auditioned because a lot of my friends like right now. Well, I mean, no, and they're right, and they're on the other side now, and so
Yeah.
you go in, you're like, ah.
oh right, so that people you've worked with, friends of yours, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, hey, I got this project, and then you come and audition for them.
Yeah, or they're in there, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Hey,
this is so fun.
I
Let's
wanna
do more of
act
this.
for you.
Yeah, let me just expose myself.
Yeah.
I get really raw in the room, so.
do you?
Well, yeah, I go for a lot of rom-coms, so it's always very raw, dramatic work that I'm doing.
God, that sounds hot.
It's pretty great, yeah. And I'm usually stripped from the waist down.
And sweating.
Yeah, and sweating. So,
You guys got to see Sarah Burns. Enlighten comes
HBO.
to HBO this summer or
the
fall?
end of the summer and the beginning
End
of the fall. I don't
okay.
know the exact date yet.
We'll see if it's real. Check out Sarah Burns on that show and rent some of her movies. Start with I Love You, Man. It's a great movie.
And rent me, you, and everyone we know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Watch the poop scene and everything else in
Really
it.
cute. Anything Miranda July does is cool.
That's it. Thank you, Mommy.
Thank you, Mommy.
Bye, Mommy.
Thanks, mommies.
Bye, Mommy.
Mommies.
Bye.
myself.